Another principal called me up the other day, was like, look, man, I'm leaving this school. I'll be at another school next fall. But he said, I want to know how many districts are you in, because what I would like to do, the school I'm at now is like double size the one I'm at now. He's like, bro, I got 11 assistant principals. He was like, I've seen what you can do.
Dang.
He was like, I've seen what you can do. He said, so the next time we talk, I'm going to be bringing you in so that we can implement the program on a major scale. So I'm blessed, bro.
Oh, little fish, big pond, big splash, big bag. Little fish, big pond, big splash, big bag.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the Next Level Speakers Podcast, the number one podcast in the world.
for speakers.
For speakers. Come on, Jay, get with me, dog. We on episode 7, 8.
I had to clarify.
Come
for
on.
Speakers now.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? We got a special guest in the building, but I'm going to let Jay introduce him, man, because this is day one over here, so I got to let him introduce him.
So check this out, y'all. So y'all know we started the Speakers Academy in 2020.
Come on.
And I remember, never forget, at our first conference, our first event, shout out to David Shands at E-Complex. And we had about 50, 60 members show up. And I remember pulling up, and it was his brother that beat me there. Mm-hmm. And he came out, he was like, what up, coach? I'm Demont. You know, he got the raspy voice like DMX. Yeah. He's like, I'm here to serve. I'm like, nah, bro, this the conference, like, we putting on for you. Yeah. He's like, bro, I ain't built like that. Y'all changed my life. Yeah. I came to serve and show up, and Demont's, you know what I'm saying, been at my right side, every conference, every event, tapped in with me. Demont Pope, purpose over pointless excuse.
Come on, man.
What's up, brother?
What's up, big bro? I'm feeling phenomenal. You know what's up. What's up, big brother? How you doing?
Oh, man, blessed, dog.
Thank y'all.
It's good to have you here, man. Yeah. So, man, let's get started with the journey. Demont, I will echo that real quick.
Yeah.
Like, bro, every time, you know, we have an event, you know, I come in, bro, your spirit, your willingness to serve. Obviously, you got a gift in your own right, but you ain't never like, look at me. You always like, yo, you need anything? Can I do anything? And I just mean that from the humblest perspective. And, man, it's refreshing. So I know I always say thank you, but, you know, publicly want to acknowledge you. Let's get into it, man. How did you, you know, even get interested in speaking in this arena? Did you see something, what you go through? Come on, run down the background to the people.
Yeah, man. Phenomenal question, man. Well, I've been speaking for a long time. Unprofessionally and unintentionally.
I like that, unprofessional.
Unprofessionally and unintentionally. Put that in there, man. So I got a background in the church, man. I grew up in the church, assistant youth pastor. I made it to be a youth pastor. Been gospel rapping for over 20 years. So I first touched the microphone at the age of 19. I'm 39 today, so that's 20 years. You see what I'm saying? Yep. But it was unintentional. It was a gift and it was a calling. It was anointing on me. But I didn't know it was a thing called motivational speaking, right? Like, I was too busy chasing the rap thing. I heard Tupac, and he was talking about how you could be an attorney or something positive. It wasn't thug like Tupac that grabbed me, right? Mm-hmm. It was that. So I wanted to make a difference with my voice and with music. And then I stumbled across this guy. I don't know if they know him, but his name is E.T., the hip hop preacher, right? And he was growling.
Familiar?
Yeah, he was growling, and he was passionate. And I found out that I could do the same thing, right? I'm like, wait, so you mean to tell me it's a career called a motivational speaking, and it's not just limited to the pulpit in the church? So I'm like, whoa, I need to follow my man. So I followed E.T. for years, man, on jobs that I hated. It was him that got me up in the morning, him that got me through those jobs. And then I stumbled across this guy over here to my left, Jeremy. So I'm like, okay, I'm on social media. I see Jeremy, I see the Speakers Academy. I'm like, okay, God, are you telling me this is my opportunity? And I tapped in, I plugged in with the Academy virtually, and next thing you know, every step of it, I tapped in, and Jeremy has been changing my life ever since.
That's crazy. And you know what I love about Demont? Husband, family man, you know what I'm saying, servant leader, heart of gold.
Author.
You know what I'm saying, author. You know what I'm saying, like
get that in there. Don't leave that. You know what I'm saying? That's a big one right there.
Yeah, and so to see someone of you and your stature, your caliber, what you're doing for your family, what you're doing in your community, what you're doing in your church, what you're doing in schools, man, you know, it's impressive to see, you know what I'm saying, the level of service, you know what I'm saying, your heart, your spirit, like, bro, it's different, you know what I'm saying, and I can only imagine, you know, what 2025 gonna look like for you and what 2030 gonna look like for you. I tell people all the time, I feel like I'm just getting started, and so super proud of you, man, just to see your journey. What was it inside you that made you say, I know you said you've been speaking for a while and you've been gospel rapping and hip hop and following ET, but what was it that made you say, I want to make this a career to change lives? Like, what was you seeing in the streets? What was you seeing in communities? And then tell us about the target market and audience you speak to.
Absolutely, man. So the thing is, I've always had a passion to make a difference. I always wanted to use my voice, use my gifts and talents. But what I realized, the difference between what was happening in the church is everybody coming back, they got the same speaker, they got the same preacher, the same pastor. But there was young people in the community, guys, that was struggling. Like there was young people in the community that were becoming victims of suicide, incarceration, right? Gang members, right? Young, right? Sex trafficking, right? The whole situation, homicide, they were being murdered, you know what I mean? Jails were overpacked. So I'm like, I got to do something to make a difference because God gave me a voice, he gave me a talent. So for me, my market is the youth space. So I speak to educators and students in the school space, all the way from K through 12 up to colleges and universities. Why? Because I want to make a difference, just like some educators, coaches, and mentors made a difference in my life. So I want to be, you know, they say be the change that you want to see.
Absolutely.
Right? So I was a part of the problem at one point because I am a former drug dealer. I am a former gang member.
Come on, talk
Like
that
I grew
talk,
up in a household with dysfunction. It was my father was an alcoholic, old Army veteran, right? Suffered with PTSD, so he had to self-medicate. So I saw violence in the household, right? I didn't necessarily fit in the house, didn't really fit in school, didn't fit in with the gangs. I'm like, God, where I fit in at? And I found my purpose in this pursuit of purpose. So that's why I came up with the purpose over pointless excuses, because I can't let that be an excuse that my dad wasn't in my life. I can't let it be an excuse that I'm a former gang member. I can't let it be an excuse that I don't fit in. So I realized that if something was gonna change, it's gonna have to change with me. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, bro.
See how he can go.
Hey, you see, that's just a natural gift. So talk about it. You were speaking unprofessionally. Now you speak professionally. Talk about that difference in like how you were kind of just out there. Because I think a lot of people even listening who haven't had formal training, haven't went through the workshops, the modules, things like that, they kind of just out here and they got the gift. And I call it like the and one hooping. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's basketball, you know, but it's more like street ball. You just in there doing stuff. You don't really have, you know, a mission. Exactly, hot sauce. You don't really have a mission behind it. You don't really have a system behind it. Talk about how you went from that unprofessional speaker to not a professional speaker.
Man, phenomenal question. First of all, if they out there and one, and like you need to get you some coaching.
Yeah.
Right? Let's be clear. Let's get this recorded. Get you some coaching, like get you some training, right, professionally, because there's levels to it. And it's a big difference. Out here on your own is one thing, but when you tap into a community, you tap into Next Level Speakers Academy, no pun intended, right? That's gonna cultivate, it's gonna develop you, and it's gonna help you polish that craft. You gotta honor, first of all, honor the gift that God gave you.
Yep.
So God gave me a gift, so I was doing him a disservice just out here freestyling it, is what I called it, right? I was freestyling it, and it wasn't giving God his just due. Right? Not only was God not getting his just due, but it was people in the community that I was failing because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing at the highest level. I was doing it, but I was doing it average, below average. Right. So I had to tap into some coaching and some training to teach me actually how to take my average gift and talent and turn it into a phenomenal skill. And that's where I'm at now. I'm learning how to navigate through the spaces, learning the difference between the market spaces. Sometimes you got to know where you fit in, because I was trying to speak to everybody, bro. Yep. I'm like, if you need motivation, you need
anybody
to get it. I'm the one. Come holler at me.
Right.
But that wasn't the way. And I was setting myself up for failure because I couldn't get nowhere because I was trying to be everywhere.
I couldn't get nowhere because I was trying to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So what I love it, I tell people often, man, my boy, just shout out to Jeff Tatarchik. He told me years ago that the riches is in the niches. And you found your niche, right? It's in the youth space. It's the educational, K through 12, high school, middle school, university.
Yes, sir.
Students and teachers.
Absolutely.
So you haven't just been speaking in the space at a high level, you've also developed programs.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So can you tell us about some of the programs you've created? And then I want you to give our listeners some game in the importance of them building out a program to accompany the speaking. Yeah, so talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the speaking gets me in the door, right? That's my go-to. That's my main thing, right? That's the main product or service that I provide. But in doing the speaking professionally, doing the training and coaches, I found out that the speaking ain't enough, right? I found out like it's good to hit the stage. You got thousands of people, hundreds of people. They scream, standing ovation. That's cool, right? But how much impact are we really making with a one and done situation? So I went back and I had some conversations with some of the decision makers that brought me me in, and I'm like, okay, what can I do to add more value to your organization or your school or your community? And they was like, what we really need is something long-term, something ongoing. Okay, I got you. Let me go to the drawing board. So I developed the Purpose Over Pointless Excuses leadership program.
I'm sorry, just so they know, his last name is Pope.
Yeah.
I want to make sure they ain't go over your bald head.
Right.
Purpose over pointless excuses.
Yeah,
Absolutely. POPE, man. So it's a leadership mentoring curriculum, right? And I partner with one of our next level community members, the president of the Speakers Academy, Akia Keith. She and I, we tag team, right? I take care of the guys, she take care of the girls. And the Purpose Over Pointless Excuses mentoring curriculum, it's a leadership curriculum. It's 8 weeks, and we take the students through levels of personal development. We teach them how to overcome adversity. We teach them about conflict resolution, respect. We teach them about personal development, professional development, right? We even teach them about financial literacy because it's important, right? So we deal with their mind, we deal with their heart, and then we deal with the business of walking out here becoming a productive leader in society. Yeah.
And this is something you can package and you can share it with others and have other people facilitate it in other cities, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Come
I'm
on,
glad
talk
you said
about it.
that.
Come
Coach.
on.
Listen. So what we're doing right now with Kia, and I shout out to Akia, by the way, what we do, we have a lot of the speakers in our community in our Atlanta chapter. They come out and they shadow us, right? And what we're doing is, as we're negotiating more schools and the doors are opening, I can't be everywhere, Kia can't be everywhere. So what we're doing is we're training the other speakers, other professionals to be able to go into the schools and facilitate the very same program that we've implemented. It's been tested. We have data to prove that it's effective.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Talk.
Let's talk about that data.
Yeah.
And see, we've had conversations in the past, like the importance of data. I'm gonna ask you to talk about it and then see, because it's like, it's one thing to say, hey, I got a dope program. Them schools is gonna want to know data. What made you say, I'm not gonna just have a dope program that I know is gonna change lives, but let me be intentional about gathering data, because that's something I didn't do when I first started.
Yeah. I'm gonna be all the way transparent. It ain't like I just had the sauce and knew what I was doing.
Okay.
Like it's a reason for us having mentors and coaching, right? So I'm gonna be honest. I reached out to Coach Crump, like, hey, Coach, I got this situation. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm finna make this work. It gotta work or it gotta work. So shout out to Coach Crump, Coach Chris Crump, the King coach. He coached me. He mentored me. He gave me some game.
He's the director over our whole Speakers Academy and Speakers Elite, in case y'all didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So he really gave me the rundown, gave me the game, told me what to do, what not to do, how to do it. I fumbled the bag the first time, but as we implemented the program more, I got into my rhythm and I implemented to where I had to get that data from them. So what I do is initially in the program, I do a pre-assessment, find out where they are, how they feel about school, right? What their attendance and engagement is like, what their behavior's like, right? How they feel about the program having been assigned to it. And then what I do a mid-assessment just to kind of see if we're growing, if I need to tweak something. But then I do a post-assessment at the end. But that post-assessment is video, right? The pre-assessment is written. That post-assessment is video, because I want to capture the emotion, the excitement when they tell me that they didn't want to be a part of the program, but now the program has changed their lives and they've learned that they too can be a leader. So that data is king, because now I'm not having to tell you, oh, I can come in and get these results. The data speaks for itself. And now you tell me what this is worth for you. So I don't have to negotiate and we don't have to talk about price, because you see the value in what I'm bringing to the community.
Dang, Coach Crump.
Yeah.
You doing this like that?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he was being transparent. See, he said, hey, he gave me the play. I ran the play. I fumbled it a few times. And I can appreciate you saying that, because some people will come on and we wouldn't have you on if that was the case, but we'll make it seem like, it just worked. Like, no, he fumbled it. It was a few times he was like, I didn't execute it the right way, but you kept at it and you perfected the process and now you flowing. So see, I know you guys, when it comes to data, I know y'all.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was just good enough to be sweet back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just be real. Like, we would go to a school and we would kill, and it'd be like standing ovation, teachers crying, kids crying. We'll leave and they'll be like, people would be like, how was it? We like, it was fantastic. And they're like, what did you do? We spoke to them. It was great. They were like, did it work? We was like, yeah. And they was like, how do you know? And they was like, they was crying.
Right.
Like, they said it changed their life. That's not a quantifiable result. And so what you're talking about is finding quantifiable results. They get paid per student that stays in the school. So are the students more likely to come back to school as a result of the program? Is the recidivism rates down? Is the retention rates higher? Like, are the test scores going up? These are the things that they actually have tangible budgets for. But back in the day, we were just in there, Jay, waxing deep.
Motivate.
Like, I'm just being real. We were at Michigan State. This is a true story, y'all. We were at Michigan State. We had a program. Now, mind you, if you threw a program at Michigan State for black students, which, you know, is obviously a PWI, but there was, you know, a black community. If you threw a program there, you'd be lucky to get 10 students if it was voluntary. Now, if you made it mandatory, you might get a few students out. But if it was voluntary, like, hey, we got a free program, we about to talk about how to be successful in school, you'd be lucky to have 10 kids there. E and I developed a program. That sucker had 300 to 400 kids coming every single week on a Tuesday night voluntarily. These other programs couldn't get 20 people through the door, and they had budgets of 50, 100,000, 250,000 for the semester. So me and E went, we was like, yo, we presented our program. I'm talking about, I'll never forget this, bro. We had a dude come in there. We had our whole presentation lined up, right? We was going to show him the videos from the stuff, E speaking, me speaking, student testimonials. And then we were thinking, this one kid was just like, he just was like the star student. We was like, we're going to bring him in there with us, right? So we brought him in there with us. We in front of all the decision makers. And he was like, I'll never forget. He was like, the program was called The Advantage. And he was like, yeah, he said, excuse me, he's talking to the director. He's like, you go to church? Director was like, yeah, I go to church. He was like, you know that feeling that you feel on Sunday when you leave and, you know, you got the word and the worship and all of that, how it just carries you on a high throughout the week? Director was like, yeah. He said, that's how I feel when I go to The Advantage. Wow. Bro, I was like, they about to write us $1 billion check right now. In my mind. Right?
Yeah.
Little man excused himself. Now just the adults in the room gonna talk. My man looked dead at us and was like, where's your proof that it works? And I was like, you ain't just hear my man in the church. He just said it was like church.
That's the gospel, Nick.
He just said, are they grades going up?
Yeah.
And I was like, he said, do y'all even know who's coming to the events? Do y'all know we didn't even have a sign-in sheet?
Wow.
I had bro, we didn't even know to tell them to sign. We just doing the work. So it's 300 kids coming in, but he like, have they been there once? How many of them have been to every single session? They're like, what are the, and we were like, whoa. And that's when it hit us. And that's why we teach that way now, because it hit us to go, wow, like, it's not enough just to be, one is going in there speaking and you kill it and you walk out and everybody feel good and you on a temporary high. Y'all hit Waffle House on the way out, everybody high-fiving and hugging. That's level one, right? But getting to that next level is what you talked about now, where you have pre and post-test analytics and you can show, as a result of going through this program, students are more likely to A, B, and C. And that's how you secure the check. Let me tell you something. I tell y'all all the time, I'm not sweet like a lot of these cats, Jeremy, Inky, E.T. I'm not on that level. So I got to have my game tight. And again, they got their game tight too, but I'm being real. E might be sweet enough to just go in now and just wham, bam, hallelujah, and it's over and it's a $200,000 check. There are very few individuals in the world who can do that. So for the rest of us, regular humans, what we have to do is we have to go in, we have to be very specific, we have to meet the objective, and we need data to show, hey, here's how this works. At the end of the day, we are problem solvers. They're bringing you in because they have a problem. They're bringing D in because student retention is low. Student motivation is low. So he has to come in and plug those gaps, and he has to be able to show that it actually works. And that's what he's doing, and that's why he's getting paid on the level he's getting paid now.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Jeremy Anderson here, founder, Next Level Speakers Academy. And look, we're always looking to see how we can take to the next level. Me and my team have been meeting, and we said, man, how can we enhance the experience, right? How can we put the people within our community in the best position to get as many opportunities to speak and share their gift and their message with the world? I am pleased to announce that we have just launched our Next Level brand studio. For those of you all that's in the Facebook group and online and send me DMs, Jeremy, who did your website? Who does your branding? Who did your EPK? Who does your reel? We now build a team of people that's been working with us for years that's now gonna work with you. So for those of you all that want a brand, right? You want a real custom logo and an EPK and business cards. You really want to put yourself in the best position to really be taken seriously. We've got the opportunity for you, right? For those of you that said, man, I need a website that's nice like yours, Jeremy. I don't have as much content, but I got enough to get a really strong website to put me in the best position. Man, we've done so many websites. We've got the team, the crew ready to support you. For those of y'all that realize people don't want to book speakers who are trying to be speakers, they want to book speakers who are already speaking. And you understand the importance of having a real polished and powerful professional speakers reel. Man, we got the team that's been working with me for over a decade, and now my team is your team. So whether you need a brand, a branding and a logo and EPK and all of that, whether you need a brand new website, whether you need a speakers reel, Next Level Brand Studio is the go-to place for premier speakers like you. It's ready to take your message and your brand and your story to the next level.
Listen to me, man. So as you see, we don't want you just to motivate and inspire, right? There are systems we talking about you got to put in place. There's data that you have to collect. And I'm so excited for you, Demont, because you says, all right, I'm going to be in these schools. I'm going to speak. I'm going to motivate. I'm going to inspire. I'm going to teach. I'm going to train. But I'm also going to create a program. And I'm also going to gather the data so we can prove it works. And so now imagine now, right? You can only speak at so many schools. You can only take but so many opportunities. But it's endless possibilities for your curriculum. It's endless possibilities for your program. And now as our community grows, you're training up more people in different cities, and now they can go in there and teach your program, teach your curriculum, and then they can run the play, and then you can still be compensated for it because that's your IP, your intellectual property, Absolutely. And now you get paid off of that, but lives are still being changed.
That's the part.
And so I remember years ago, and we'll talk about this in a future podcast, but C was telling me like, yo, Jay, you got to have a curriculum. And for like a year and a half, he was telling me, and I didn't execute it, and I finally executed it. And man, that changed the game. You know what I'm saying? For me and my family and our brand. And now schools and organizations are looking at me like, yo, my man got his own K through 12 social and emotional learning character curriculum in addition to what he's going to be sharing. So now they're looking at me as the E word, an expert. And that's when they paying you top dollar when they view you as an expert. So you're not just coming in as a black man like, yeah, I can relate to the kids. The kids love me. You like, but I also got data. I also got programs. You know what I'm saying? I also got opportunities for them to grow and learn. I've got the proof that my passion, my experience, my expertise really works. And man, that's been a game changer for me.
And I'm gonna say one thing real quick to add on to that, man. I got a call from one of the principals of one of the high schools that the curriculum is in, and he was like, "Man, these kids is going crazy because the program is over for this season." And he's like, "Man, they wondering are you guys coming back? They keep running to the office."
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Wait.
Yep.
Is this a middle school, high school?
No, this is a high school.
Okay.
Yeah,
In
high
what
school.
city is this in?
Yeah, this is in Jonesboro in Clayton County.
So in Atlanta.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Just on the outs. Come on,
Outskirts of Atlanta.
C. What are we talking about, bro? In 2023, a high school in Atlanta, kids is in an urban school.
Yep.
This ain't no private school.
Nah, this public school. And
They struggling.
Yeah, they going through.
I know
Man.
Clayton County on. And they saying, yo, we want his Come on, talk about that, bro. That's not normal.
Yeah.
I can see if he was like teacher said.
Yeah. Right.
Or the district office. The students. Come on.
The kids is running in the office like, yo, where the money at? Where Kia at? Like, is the program coming back? Like, they DMing us, they texting us, like they reaching out, like on a regular situation, regular occasion, man. So it's like the principal trying to figure out and they only got like 2 more weeks left. So we trying to work back and forth to figure out some type of way we can surprise the kids. Cause we got kids, man, that were missing days all the time. And then now, they not missing any days since being in the program. We got kids that were fighting all the time. They haven't had not one fight since they've been in the program. And it's only an 8-week program. We got kids that one kid grade went up like 41 points. You see what I'm saying? So we seeing results. We getting emotional connections with the kids. Like, we're seeing lasting impact. So my question is like, what would this look like for these students? Not me. What would it look like for these students 4 and 5, 10 years from now?
Bro, y'all changing lives.
That's
bro.
exactly
I mean,
what
literally.
we're doing. Yeah.
Y'all literally
Generation.
changing lives in generations, right? Because now these people that you're ministering to, maybe homeboy don't join that gang.
Yeah,
Maybe homegirl don't end up getting pregnant
Right.
at 16, 17.
right.
Like maybe they actually do finish school. Maybe y'all inspire them enough to say, man, I'm about to go to a trade school or the military, or I'm about to work for the government. I'm about to go to college. Like I'm about to do something with myself. They realize that you ain't got to clock in with nobody else. I could be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, y'all really changing lives out here, man. And this is what we tell people all the time that's considering or thinking about being a speaker. Because a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, it's probably 50-50. See, people hit me like, bruh, I'm trying to get to the bag. I want to be a speaker. Miss me with that. Miss me. The bag gonna come. Miss me with that. But when you like, man, I got something inside me,
Yeah.
and I struggled. I want my pain to be somebody else's gain. Like that's the best feeling in the world. I've gotten some big checks, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $110,000 for 2 days of work. I've gotten some big checks. Don't nothing move me than when the kids say I changed their life.
Come on.
Give me, I need at least one story, bro. I know, give me one story of a student that came tears, they struggling, you changed. Like, give me one story.
Yeah, for sure. I can do that easily, man. So I got this one kid named Brad in the mentoring program at one of the high schools. This kid got caught in the bathroom smoking or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah. So
Cigarettes, black and mild, weed.
He was smoking cigarettes in the bathroom or whatever. You know what I mean?
Brother
and that's
was
the common
stressed.
thing. That's what's going on. But he also was having some crazy behavior issues. So what I did in the program, not only did we take him through the program, but I took him under my wings. I reached out to his mom, and one of our meetups, I brought him out to one of the meetups, gave him an opportunity to stand up and speak in front of a room full of people for the very first time.
Wait, what meetups?
One of our Atlanta chapter meetups. Yeah. He came to one of the meetups, he spoke, and then he went back to the school, told the principal that I've changed his life. Guy hit me on DM like, man, I'm gonna look up to you forever. I said, no, you're not gonna look up to me forever. It's not for you to look up to me. It's for you to look at me eye to eye so that you can know that you can become what I've showed you that you can become. Don't look up to me, but look at me because you got the same gifts, talents, and abilities. And another principal called me up the other day, was like, look, man, I'm leaving this school. I'll be at another school next fall. But he said, I want to know how many districts are you in, because what I would like to do, the school I'm at now is like double size the one I'm at now. He's like, bro, I got 11 assistant principals. He was like, I've seen what you can do. Dang. He was like, I've seen what you can do. He said, so the next time we talk, I'm going to be bringing you in so that we can implement the program on a major scale. So I'm blessed, bro. Like
11 assistant. That's a big school, bro.
Yeah.
That school probably got more students than the college I went to.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
This is a question, I guess, for both of y'all. Well, I like to just ask speakers, your best and worst gig ever. What's your best gig ever? Like, man, this was just a dream. Everything worked out perfect. Yeah. And then your worst gig where you like, fam, I think I might retire. That might have been it. Like, I just go ahead and put my jersey in the rafter. It's over. And if y'all want to think, I'll start with my worst. I know my worst. E and I don't know what happened, but we went to this school in New Jersey, and it was in Orange, New Jersey, and I'm talking about it. I mean, it was like that. And this is pre-E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. See, now it's a cheat code because the kids know E when we go in there. But bro, we was in Orange, New Jersey. It was like first thing in the morning. Now, mind you, I don't know, like the hardest thing in the world to do is like assemblies with the whole school, especially in like a gymnasium or somewhere where the sound system really don't work. And I remember we was in there, bro, and it must have been about 3,000 students in there. First thing in the morning, Orange, New Jersey. And I'm talking about, we were like back behind like the whatever, and we was gonna come out. Bruh, I'm talking about the principal was out there, could not get their attention. Like they was trying to just quiet them down to start speaking. And man, I went out there and the kids was, as soon as I kept, boo, they was pissed. As soon as I got out there, bruh, I started talking for like 4 minutes. I couldn't even hear myself.
Wow.
And I remember the principal came up and yanked the mic out of my hand and was like, y'all stop embarrassing me. I'm tired of y'all embarrassing me. We got these good peoples come in here. And it was like, here. And gave me the mic back. It was like, finish. I was like, yeah, so, bruh, it was just tough. Wow. And I remember being like, dog, this can't be for me. Like, you know what I mean? It was discouraging. Like, I felt like, wow. But I'll tell you my cheat code for that one. You find one student who locked in, and I promise you, it was only one. 3,000 students. But homeboy, I don't know if he just needed a word that day, but he caught eyes and gave me a couple of these, and I was able to get through it. My best gig, and I would say, I want to say one I just did recently. I was like, y'all know I don't like promote myself as a speaker. I obviously work behind the scenes for E, and I never really wanted to be on a tour or traveling a bunch so I could make sure I stayed solid for E. But I got a request from Jackson, Michigan, which is about 30 minutes from Lansing, Michigan. Very similar demographic as my hometown. And these individuals were doing an event for like the city. And I just never heard of nobody from where I'm from doing an event like that. And they wanted E, and E was out of town or whatever. And I guess they listened to the pod, so they were like, yo, will C be available? And when I heard what the event was, man, and it was just first class the whole night. So to go into, like, Atlanta, we always got nice events and, like cocktail waiters and waitresses. You got the whole night. Like, bro, they had it laid out, and I was able to go there, man, and bless the people with a word, and it was phenomenal. And my whole family was there. We got dressed up, took some sweet pictures. It's my screensaver on the phone now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it was just a black tie affair in a city where I'm from that don't do stuff like that, and it was an honor to be able to go and serve the people. So that's my best and worst, I would say. I could probably think of a million more, but I want to give y'all a little time because I put y'all on the spot. So, D, best and worst gig ever.
So my worst gig, I would have to say, it was a couple of years ago. I had and it was a free gig too, and I was at this alternative school. And they already roughing it. They already don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And it's the same situation. They loud. We in the cafeteria, so the sound is terrible. Like, we ain't even got no real system. Like, we got the little karaoke mic situation with the microphone and speaker all in one. But the thing is, it was the fact of the level of disrespect that you get. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, I'm out here.
And you can't put your hands on the kid.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
That was my problem.
Yeah.
I already, man, we can straighten all of this
touch
out.
Somebody, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, the level of disrespect. And it's like, I came out here to volunteer to invest my time, and it's like, man, people paying a certain fee to get speakers out here, and I'm out here for free. And actually, because I honored a commitment, I had to turn down an invitation to a paid event. And one of the students, and I was sharing this information, one of the students had the nerve to tell me, like, bro, you stupid for leaving that. I'm like, wait, first of all, let me tell you something. That's the problem. For you to think that me turning down that money, for you to think that money was more important than you, that lets me know I needed to be here. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not about coming in here to tell y'all about how much money I'm making. I came to invest, to drop a bag on you. And that was the moment, right, that I realized that these kids really, really, really need people to show them real love. So that was the worst one, because it was a free gig. I lost money because I made a commitment and I couldn't bag out the morning of. And best gig was when I had the opportunity to fly over to California to speak at a national Keystone conference for the Boys and Girls Club. Just me flying from Atlanta all the way to California. And not just flying over there to speak and add value, but not only did I get compensated, but the love that these young people showed me. Like, they lined up to get autographs. They lined up to take pictures. They lined up to ask questions. And it's like, that's when I knew. I'm like, I'm walking in my purpose, because the same thing that I gave another school for free, right, that they didn't appreciate, here it is, the very same service, the very same product on the other side of the country, they're valuing it. So it lets me know, like I do got purpose, and I do belong doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, Jay, we're going to hold off on yours to the next episode. You know what I'm saying? We're too close to the end, but I want to make sure you get his time.
I want to ask one question real quick. In regards to, I want you to talk about speaking for Recession Proof. Shout out to the homie Marcus Barney. He spoke at last year's speakers conference, and Holy Ghost just hit my man on stage, and he was like, he was talking about the importance of being in the room and just who you connected with. And he was like, because of my brother Jeremy, I look up to him. He was just like, I want to bless two of your speakers that's in your academy that invested in you to open up for me at my conference. And we're going to compensate them. We're going to fly them there. We're going to take care of their hotel room in Vegas in front of like 8,000 people. It was something crazy, bro. And you was one of the ones selected to speak. And I remember the moment when you came up on stage and embraced Marcus. Like, bro, that was a movie, man. Can you just talk about that experience in
Bro,
Vegas?
you done took me back. I'm trying not to get emotional right now because I got all emotional then. Like that.
And
that
it was
moment,
random. Nobody expected.
Yeah.
Marcus was just like,
On
I
the
felt like
spot.
I should bless somebody.
Yeah, on the spot. Shout out to Marcus Barney, aka him 500. Like I didn't even know my man knew my name. I knew he knew my face because I'm always glued to J Hip, right? But when he shouted my name out, I was so surprised. Like, first of all, how you know my name, and then to bless me with an opportunity like that, like it was so emotional. And nobody understood. I lost the strength in my leg. Like I went down on my knee because I had to have a conversation with God. Like all that crap I've been talking about to God, all that frustration, all that hurt, all that anger. Like for me for you to show me love on a platform in front of all of these people, get me on a plane, and he did exactly what he said. All expenses paid, man. I had the time of my life, and to be able to go to Vegas and to be able to host and bring on phenomenal speakers, big name speakers, like that was the time of my life.
Man.
So I guess I got two. I got two of my
come
favorite
on.
moments. That's the second one, right?
Come
there.
on, Jay. We got to get out of here, but we need that butcher's cut before we go. What is it?
Yeah, so it's right in alignment. It's right in alignment, right? Tap in with the resources. Demont told you all the importance of having programs, and some of y'all are probably thinking like, man, I don't even know if I have all that depth. Like, you're like, I know how to speak. Like, I got a story. I got a crazy testimony, but I don't know if I have the depth to build out the program. Those conversations you have with the principals, those conversations you have with the guidance counselors, those conversations you have with the teachers, ask them. Bro, years ago, I just humbled myself. And I said, hey, what do you think would be best? What do you think I should put? What do you think? When I wrote my next level teaching book, I asked them like, okay, what are some of the different things that teachers need to know? What are they struggling with? My butcher's cut for you is to ask questions with those people who are already rocking with you. Say, hey, I want to come back and add even more value. I'm putting together a program. What are the top 3 principles, the things that need to be inside this program? And they will then tell you exactly what they need to hear. And they're going to use the language that other schools, other corporations, other companies, other organizations are using on a regular basis. They're going to give you the cheat code. And so there's something special about when you humble yourself and say, hey, I want to add even more value. I'm thinking about putting together this program. I'm thinking about putting together this curriculum. What do you think is needed most in the marketplace? That for you is my butcher cut.
Man, D, we appreciate you joining us. Let the people know where they can see you on socials and your website. Give them all the information.
Yeah. Website is demontpope.com. All social media is at Demont Pope. Again, demontpope.com. All social media is at Demont Pope. Thank y'all so much for this opportunity.
Man,
guys.
appreciate you, bro.
Grateful, humble.
And as always, man, if you want to join us, if you want to get like D, man, and get out there and start changing the world, man, you know where to find us. NextLevelSpeakersAcademy.com. Go there right now. Sign up with us. Join the community. Join the fam. We out of here. We'll see you next week.
Let's get it.